Thank you for spending your Sunday morning with us. I wanted to ask this question this morning, but I think it's not going to work. How many of you are planning to buy your first HDB flat? You look left, you look right. Wrong question to ask. Okay, so I'm going to ask the question in another way. How many of you, all right, have friends or children, all right, who are going to buy their first HDB flat? Okay. Okay, so that means all are private property owner. Anyway, today we're going to share a little bit about HDB. All right, why? Because for many Singaporeans, me included, my first home was a HDB flat. All right, HDB flat. We all started there. All right, it's possibly one of the best housing program in the entire world. All right, especially those of us who have traveled. All right, you will notice that Singapore is actually a very good place to stay, and we have all a very good starting point. But my point is this: for your HDB flat is your first home, but it need not be your one and only home. It is a very good base for us to do a lot of things, to upgrade, to multiply our assets. It is a very good base. What it does is that at a very early age, it has provided you a house, a roof over our head, and we can start our journey and our family life. But it does not have to end there. All right. Of course, if we look around us, we are people who, till today, still own the very first HDB flat that they bought many years ago. Right? So, then there are those people. But I believe it's a minority. Majority of the people in HDB has an aspiration. Our recent My Dream Home survey revealed that the aspiration is actually very high. It's an aspiration. That means the desire, the wish, and the thinking here is that I want to upgrade to something better. Okay? So aspiration is there. So we talked a lot about yesterday about why you should be getting yourselves into the private property market. All right? And today we start off with using HDB as a base. All right, as a base. For most people, this is going to be it. Okay, before I move into the strategy, okay, the strategy, what is a strategy? We're going to talk about strategy. Strategy is a game plan. Okay, it's a game plan. Now, the game plan is mapped out, but we have to find the parts that will help me to execute that game plan. Okay, so yesterday we also spent a lot of time talking about the basic ingredient to execute any plan in your private property purchase or your upgrading. You need to have what? Money. Money, right? Correct. So but sometimes people have money. Okay, they save, they invested, they build up their funds, but they find that they still cannot execute the plan. Why? Because they have been locked in, okay, into a very inconvenient situation, and they cannot move. Right? Example, today we all know there are two big issues. ABSD. Right? ABSD. Financing. Right? Financing. These are the two immediate so-called concerns that affect any person who is intending to upgrade. So now we take a step back and we look at some strategy of how you can, position yourself to make it more convenient, all right, for you to move upstream, but you still need to find the money, all right? Today, I'm not going to teach you how to find the money. You still have to find the money, all right? I'm going to talk about some ideas, okay, that you should be thinking about. Okay, a lot of you will probably have I mean, I'll be frank, a lot of you probably have children and, who are going to be buying their first home, and, a lot of them today, they will say, okay, Dad, I want to settle my own. I mean, how many of you have children like that? You don't need to pay anything for me. I settle my own. Have right? Okay. So, but they have to start. They have to start properly. Okay, you don't start properly, okay, we're gonna jam. Then it will become very inconvenient. Okay, so let's talk about the market first. All right, market of HDB, the prices we know is continuing to rise. Okay, primarily if we compare the first 2 quarters of this year, okay, the pace of increase, the HDB prices has increased faster, all right, than private property. All right, increased faster than private property. Private property is, as we all know, is driven by market dynamics, okay, like the number of new launches, all right, as well as, depending on what is launched, then the price will move accordingly. So as we all know, the first half, okay, there are not as many projects that were launched, okay, as a result, the price of private property is rather, has increased, but not as much as HDB. Now, what is the HDB market driven by? Okay, the government has said they increase a lot of BTO supply. How come the price still keep on increasing? Right? Why? Okay, primarily, if you look at the resale HDB market, who are the buyers? The buyers are, firstly, the people who don't qualify to buy BTO flat, right? So to buy BTO flat, you have to have what? Income ceiling, right? 14,000. Okay, 14,000. If your household income ceiling exceeds 14,000, you cannot buy BTO flat. You have to go resale. Second group of people are those that cannot wait that period of time for the BTO to be constructed. Okay, though they say that there are some projects that will be ready in 3 years, by and large, the majority of BTO projects do take longer to construct. Okay, I know because a few of my friends, their children have also booked BTO flats, and the construction period is between 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years. Some, depending on the size and the height of the project, can be more than 5 years. So if you have a plan to start your property journey and, you are set back by 4 to 5 years if you take the BTO route, but you buy resale, is immediate, right? You can start your journey there. That's one. So it continues to be driven, okay, by this very strong, resilient demand. The other thing also, HDB introduced this penalty system for booking BTO. So you have to be very spot on. No? So if you apply for a BTO and you're given a spot to go and select your BTO, you cannot don't go. No? All right, if you don't go, then you are penalized. You are penalized, then you're as good as being thrown to the back of the queue. All right? Of course, they don't fine you, but they throw you to the back of the queue. Then you lost your opportunity. So you have to be very careful. All right? And you know that you cannot really determine how they compute, okay, your queue number. All right? Fortunately, you get a queue number in front, you have a good selection of the flat. But if you have not so good queue number, then the flats left behind are not so good, then you don't select. You don't select, it means you can be penalized, right? So for this very simple reason, all right, people say, might as well buy resale. I buy resale, I have a total control over where I want to be, all right, how much I want to pay, and I shorten my starting point by 4 to 5 years. It's immediate. I don't have to wait for the construction period. So that's why, despite the fact that BTO, okay, supply has increased, all right, it is basically catering to a group of people who are willing and able to wait, okay, and are willing to take that chance of not being penalized. So this is the state of the market. So in a nutshell, we can see that prices are likely to continue to increase because the demand is still there. All right. And the transaction level for second quarter is already at the second highest level. All right. And we can see that there is steady momentum. It continue to be outpace private property. Private property market is going through a period where we call it wait and see. Okay, they are watching the price. Okay, depending on what is launched. So it's typically driven by what is launched in the market, and it may likely increase right in the future when you're seeing more launches. Okay, then we talk about this big elephant in the room. All right, $1 million flats. Okay, are they a big concern? They grab the headlines. Whenever, the problem with the media is this: there's a bunch of reporters that every day watch the HDB transaction. Really, there is this group of people. Okay, why? Because I know the first thing they spot one new transaction, they'll call me, right? Because I'm the spokesperson for the company. Hey, Eugene, got this transaction. Is it done by your people? All right, can we interview the seller, interview the buyer, interview the agent? What is your comments about this project? Okay. Also on my computer system in-house, we have set an alert system that whenever there is a $1 million flat transaction submitted by my agent in this company, my system will flag. I will receive an email to flag that there's this unit that's transacted, and who is the agent, I represent seller or buyer, what is the price. Every day I get a few of this alert. That is the state of the market. But is it a lot? Okay, let's talk about it. So whether we like it or not, we were responsible for the highest price $1 million flat. Okay, we shouldn't be talking too much about it, okay, because this is a super outlier. What is outlier? That means it's not a normal transaction. Okay, it's not a normal transaction. So but it grabs the headline. All right, it grabs the headline. So like it or not, when it grabs the headline, there will be a whole bunch of people who are called keyboard warriors who will go there and stir, Okay. So let's look at what enables a flat to sell at above $1 million. So usually they are the 4-room, 5-room, or executive. Okay, 4-room, 5-room and executive, I can explain very easily. All right, because why? Executives, the government has stopped building since the mid-1990s. There's no more new executive flat. So wherever there's executive flat that's in the market today is based on existing fixed supply. When you have something that is fixed in supply and you have increasing demand because people want to buy units that are bigger, more space, all right, they will chase these flats down. At one time, nobody wanted them because they went for the newer flats. But now people are willing to accept that despite the fact that they are older, but they offer a lot more space and therefore a lot more potential. And the people who buy these flats don't just move in like that. They will do major renovation, right? And turn the whole flat into what? Like a landed property. Right? Very nice. Okay, so there's a group of people who are chasing this kind of flat. Okay, 5-room, also, you notice that all the new BTO launches, especially those BTO launches in the more central location, they don't have 5-room flats anymore. The government has stopped building 5-room flats in central locations. All are 4-room flats. So that's why some of the $1 million deals that is flagged, transacted today, are all 4-room flats in central location. Okay, so in the common space, they are typically very well located, either in the city fringe, near amenities, near transport nodes. Okay, highly desirable location. Especially the 4-room flats. A a lot of them have long remaining lease. Okay, so basically the buyer want to buy something with as near to 99 years as possible, right? Okay, and then typically they also have high floor, the $1 million view. So if you look at the 1.73, that was so really, it is a $1 million view, all right? And morning you can see the sunrise in the horizon, all right? And it's unblocked, total unblocked. So my question to the media is, why so high? So I asked back this question, if this was a private property with this kind of view and this kind of height is on the 45th floor, how much do you think it will sell for? Definitely over 3 million. Correct. So it's double the price. So in terms of perspective, it's not the majority. It is because of the attributes of the flat. And typically they are either well renovated, except for the executive which are older, actually the people want it original condition, they will just knock here, knock there and make it into a very nice property. Okay, so in terms of statistics, there's only 3% of the HDB transaction that is above $1 million. I'm talking from 1 million onwards. Only 3%. That means out of every 100 flats that is transacted in the resale market, only 3 are above 1 million. Then Eugene, why your computer every day flag a few? Our market share of the $1 million flat quite high. Okay, my agents are doing a good job. Okay, so 97% are below $1 million. All right, 97% are below. So technically, if you use $1 million to differentiate between above high price and low and normal price, then majority are normal price. Yes, the normal price is increasing, but that is the fact of the market is driven by real demand, no speculation, no investment. HDB is not an investment product. Okay, so at the end of the day, we need to come back to this. If you look at the majority of transactions today are 4-room or 5-room resale. So if you look at 4-room, 5-room resale, what is the average price? Okay, I want you to take note of this average price because this is called benchmarking. If you want to buy anything in today's market, you need to know what's the average price across the board because that is the middle point of what has been transacted. Okay, what has been transacted. Okay, so Eugene, why you don't take median? Why you take average? Okay, I feel okay, our average is throw away the outlier. Okay, those outlier is an adjusted average. All right, so I throw away the outlier. It's not a real average. Okay, it's the average of the majority of the transaction. So it gives you a feel where is the middle point. Okay. So now we come to the strategy. First strategy, you should buy as new as you can, but don't overpay for it. How do you not overpay for it? Is that you buy around the average price. So you have to know what is the average price. Average price is off the cuff, about 600,000+ for a 4-room flat and about just over 700,000 for a 5-room flat. That is your midpoint. Average of today's transactions minus away the outliers. Okay, the very high and the very low we take out. Okay? So if we ask this question, okay, typically what I mean by buy as new as you can, look at flats that are 15 years old and younger. Okay? And we did a study. Actually, we published this paper and it's available in our blog. If you can go to you can ask any ERA agent to send you the blog. Okay, it's in our Sales Plus app. All right. So where are all the 4-room flats that is fairly new, 15 years or younger, that is under 650,000? Notice I draw a line under 650,000 because if you buy a 4-room flat that is above 650,000, it's a bit pricey. So why we go for this is that your upside potential, this criteria, your upside potential and your downside risk. Okay, when you buy anything, you must think in future I sell how much I can get. So the higher you buy, your headroom for appreciation becomes smaller. Because at the end of the day, the government is very concerned about the overall of the HDB pricing. And whatever thing they will do, they will come up. They have a lot of things they can do in their toolbox to control the overall level. And okay, thank goodness they are not doing anything yet. Okay, very simple way is to control the financing. Already adjusted one time already. They can adjust the financing again very easily. So we hope we don't come to that stage. So anyway, if you look at this map, it basically tells you there are a few clusters. All right, west side, north, and northeast side. Okay, so let me just take some example. So we take a nice place, nice, not too bad town, Bukit Batok, which is very near, just across the highway from the Jurong East, all right, Jurong 2nd CBD, all right, Bukit Batok, just short drive across the that road. Okay, you will come to Jurong East, right? So look at these transactions that I pull up from the HDB website. These flats have 94 months, 93, 94 months left. Okay, they were transacted recently. Okay, even below the 650 line that I draw for you. All right, so you get a balance of newer lease, long lease remaining, and also high potential for appreciation because you're not buying overpriced and it's new. Okay, new means later on somebody will buy from you. It makes it more attractive. Okay, if you look at Punggol where there are a lot of flats, okay, again, all in August. Okay, the range is from as low as 580 all the way to 650. Again, very good remaining lease. All right, so buy as new as you can, but don't overpay. That's the first strategy. If you have to buy resale, okay. Let's look at 5-room flats. So 5-room flats, same principle. We draw a line at 750. Okay, we look at some places. Again, this pattern shows up. Okay, you have to be realistic. If you buy central, of course, you're going to have to pay a lot of money. Okay, especially 5-room flat, very limited stock. Okay. Okay, so again, they are like 6+, well below the 700, and more than 90 years left in the lease. So there are transactions. So again, same thing, Punggol. All right, below 750, all done in August. Resale registration. All right, so again, about 70+ to 80, 80+ to 90 years left. Okay, so the point is this: buy with as new as you can, but don't overpay. Why? Because when it's time to resell, you can easily resell. Someone will take it off you. You don't have to be concerned. Okay, a lot of buyers today we serve a lot of buyers. The first question, if they look at an older flat, they come in, normally they will ask the agent, how many years left in the lease? Very realistic one. Especially if you are selling an older flat, the first question the buyer asks you, how many years left in the lease? Why? Because if there's, the HDB has this formula, the remaining lease of the flat plus the age of the youngest buyer that is buying this property has to add up to more than 95 years. What if it doesn't add up? So for example, a young person want to buy a very old flat. What is the problem he will encounter? First thing, first order of business, if he's taking HDB loan, it will be prorated. He will not be able to get enjoy the full amount of the loan. Second, most people use CPF to pay for the flat, right? Again, if they prorate your loan, they have to prorate your CPF. You cannot use the full amount of CPF to pay for the flat. So that's why people are getting smart. When they buy flat, the first order of business, they want to know how many years left in the lease. Then they will go and count. You know, okay, this one's sui. Okay, I can maximize my financing, maximize the usage of my CPF. Okay, strategy number 2. This was introduced last year in the National Day rally. So tonight is National Day rally. I don't know what he's going to introduce. Okay, everybody is keeping quiet because there's this thing called the Official Secrets Act. Even the reporter all know already by now. Everybody's all right, because they already write all the article. You know, the news won't come out so fast. After he announced only true all right, they all know already, but we don't know what is coming out. Okay, so HDB Prime and Plus Flats is going to launch in October. It will be there'll be a lot of publicity, okay, because this is the first. I mean, the Prime is already on the market. They introduced Plus Flat. Okay, what my caveat here is this. It's a good product. The purpose of Prime and Plus Flats is the government's agenda is to be inclusive. I want to build flats in very prime location. Can you imagine Keppel Club? Keppel Club, that's prime location, waterfront there. And the sea view there is even better than the East Coast. I'll put HDB flat there. From a town planning perspective, I mean, we studied town planning in the uni. It's not the highest and best use of land. Correct or not? We have very limited land. That's super prime land. You put HDB flat there. Is it the highest and best use of land? No, it's not. They acknowledge it's not. But the purpose of putting flats in prime location, okay, is to be more inclusive. Okay, so they have a different agenda, a national agenda to that, for being inclusive. But they're also aware that people will make money. So they want to impose all the checks and balances to make sure that you don't strike lottery, okay, because you managed to get a flat in a prime location. Okay, so it is not for everyone if your plan ultimately is to upgrade from your HDB flat. It is a good product. It's designed for people to buy one flat in a very good location, stay in it forever. Excellent product. Okay, but if your intention is to buy a flat and eventually upgrade, leverage on the capital gain and upgrade to private housing, okay, it's not going to work for you. I will show you why. Okay, so these are some of the locations that will have the Plus flat. Prime is already on the market, but Plus are okay in places like Ang Mo Kio, Bedok, okay, Pasir Ris, they are in the possibly next to the MRT station or next to the mall. Those will be called Plus location. So mind you, Plus flats are not necessarily in the prime location. They are in the prime location of the estate, which is next to the MRT station or next to the mall. Then you become a Plus location. This will start in October. Okay? So are there restrictions? Yes, there are a lot of restrictions. Okay? So firstly, the 10-year MOP. 10-year MOP. This is going to, if your plan is to ultimately upgrade from HDB, this is a time killer. The impact of a 10-year MOP is that it is going to upset your entire time frame. Let me go through the numbers. Okay, we start with this column first. I know a lot of things to see. If you buy a normal resale flat today, like most people, okay, who are buying the resale market, they get their house straight away. Okay, your timeline starts now. Okay, so assuming you are 30 years old, you get your resale flat. Okay, there's no construction period, so you only need to wait 5 years. Okay, by the time MOP is up, you are 35 years old. Okay, best timing. Why? Because if you're going to upgrade to private property, you are able to leverage, use other people's money on the full 30-year loan. Maximum bank loan for buying private property is 30 years. 65 minus age of borrower. Do you have the full runway? Okay? Why is it important to have a full runway? Because of the money. Okay, let's say you take a $1.2 million loan. Okay, you buy a $1.5 million property, take about $1.2 million loan. Okay, your monthly is 6,080. I'm using the compulsory interest rate. Okay, what you call it? This is a stress test interest rate that is required by the bank to grant the loan. A lot of banks today use 4.5%. Even though their loan package may be below 4.5%, but under MAS regulation, they are required to stress test you at 4.5. Okay, so yes, so your monthly based on this amount of loan is 6,000, and in order to borrow that amount, okay, you need to have at least 11,000 per month as an income. Then we look at scenario 2, the person who buy BTO flat, but the normal one, not the 10-year MOP one. Okay, BTO flat, we just use a construction period 5 years. Okay, so this guy at 30 years old, he booked his BTO flat, construction period 5 years, he gets his flat 35 years. By the time he 5-year MOP, he start at 40 years old. He already lost 5 years to the chap who bought resale. All right, so what's the implication on your further downstream? All right, so you're going to be more expensive because why? Your loan period becomes shorter. Loan period shorter, monthly become higher. Okay, and because the monthly become higher, you need to earn more money in order to borrow the same amount of money, 1.2 million. Okay, then we come to this product that our government is so smart, so proud of. Okay, so proud of. Yes, it's a good product, like I said, but it's not for everyone. If it's your intention to upgrade from HDB flat, then I would say, in the strongest word possible, stay away from this. Okay, why? Because it upsets your entire timeline. Look at these numbers. Okay, 5 years construction, you buy your flat at 30 years old, you can only sell your flat after 10-year MOP at 45. 65 minus 45, your loan period is only 20 years. It's going to bring your installment payment up to 7,500. You need to earn a lot more money than the first guy, right, in order to borrow the same amount of money. Okay, so in short, it delays your plan, it makes it more expensive. Good product for people who want to buy and stay there forever, but not good for people who want to buy and upgrade. Next, then we talk about, okay, what about those people who are able to afford it? I want to keep my HDB flat, rent out, collect money, then I go and buy condo and stay in it. Then I use the rent collected from my HDB flat to help me to pay my installment. There are some people doing this, Okay, HDB owners, you are privileged group. Why? Because you own HDB and buy private. But I own private, I cannot buy HDB. I have to sell away my private. So that's why a HDB flat owner is a privileged group today. If you can afford to hold two, you hold two. Because you have, the privilege of being able to buy a HDB flat. So question is, can I rent out my HDB flat? Okay. The killer during the 5-year MOP, can I rent out? During MOP, can I rent out my room? Can. Both type can. Okay, the prime and plus as well as the standard flat, both type can. Rent out room. Rent out room means you have to stay there, not lock one room and then rent out your whole flat to people. The HDB officer will come and check on. Okay, this really happened to a friend of mine. She bought a flat and then she rent out the room. So you rent out the room, you will have to register your tenant with HDB, right? The HDB officer come and knock door, dong, 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 and check, spot check. Okay, so yes, fortunately she didn't break the rules. She's really staying there. So they really check on. Okay, so can I rent out the whole flat after MOP? Answer is yes for the normal type, but for this one, the prime and plus flat cannot. You must stay there. My prime location flat cannot rent out. If rent out can get very good rental, sorry, you're supposed to stay there forever. Okay. Okay, the third one. Yesterday, some of the speakers have spoken about this, the clawback. Clawback your subsidy. Okay, let me explain to you how HDB pricing works. Okay, so some people say, HDB got no land cost, how come they can price the flat so high? Even though they technically don't pay for the land, Because in Singapore, land is a scarce resource. They have to put a number there to account for the cost of the land. Yes, physically, it's not left pocket, pay right pocket. There's no cost involved. But they have to account for it to be responsible. Otherwise, don't have this element of responsible for land, then anyhow price already. Okay? So they have to be accountable for the land. So how does it work? There's a land cost, there's construction cost. Now you know that depending on where the flat is located, then there will be difference in pricing due to location premium. Location premium, right? Largely is due to location premium, right? So the better the location, the higher the land price, right? But there's no land price, I need to give you more subsidy. You notice all the BTO flats are priced around the same price? Just plus minus a little bit only, right? All around the same price. That means if you're buying a BTO flat in a very prime location, the amount of subsidy given to you is much higher than a HDB flat in a standard location. So when you come to time to sell the HDB flat in a prime location, I want to take back this subsidy from you. So how is it calculated? It is based on your resale price. When you book the flat, you will know. Based on your resale price or valuation, whichever is higher, I take back a percentage. So you notice this rate keep on increasing. Okay, next. Restrictions. The buyer also got restriction there. The prime and the plus flat. Okay? Whereas the normal flat, we can sell to a SPR family. Every year, we have a good number of people who get SPR. First thing they do is buy property. That's the value of a SPR. All right? So SPR can buy HDB flat, pure SPR household. But they cannot buy your prime and plus flat. SPR cannot buy. You are restricted only to sell to Singapore citizen household. That means SC plus SC or SC plus SPR. Your market size becomes smaller. Second, there is a household income ceiling for the buyer. The normal flat don't have household income ceiling as long as the buyer is not taking any loan from HDB. So this is the major problem now. Let me show you the numbers. Imagine a cap of 14,000 on your subsequent resale buyer. You waited 10 years MOP. Finally, you're going to sell your prime and plus flat. Now the buyer want to buy. Sorry, you exceed 14K income, so I cannot buy. Okay? Now I only can sell to people who are 14K and below. Okay? And I'm trying to sell for at least 1.5 mil. Can you see the problem? Based on the computation of the income ceiling plus the mortgage servicing ratio, you buy HDB flat, no matter what background you are, there's a mortgage servicing ratio of 30%. So your income ceiling, 14K means your 30% is based on 14K. Alright? So that means this buyer is limited by the price that he can pay. Without COV, it's 1.1 mil. So if you're trying to sell at 1.5 million, which is a logical price, okay, for a prime location flat in the resale market, right? It's not a bad product, but I say it's not for everyone, okay? It's not for everyone. If your plan is to upgrade, then don't. Stay away from this. All right, because it eats into your timeline. It makes it more expensive. You're going to restrict your resale buyer, then you got a problem. Okay, so stay away from this. Next. Structure your HDB ownership to make it more convenient for you to purchase your next property. Okay, question, many of us started with HDB here. Okay, I do a survey. How many of us, when we buy our first HDB flat, husband and wife is joint applicant? Me included. Why? Firstly, nobody tell me anything when I first bought my HDB flat. Secondly, the HDB officer see you getting married or you going to be married, joint applicant straight away. I fill up for you. Okay, so like it or not, we all ended up that way. But this presents an obstacle in today's environment I mean, in my days, it wasn't so difficult because there's no ABSD. All right, I bought a flat many years ago. Last time don't have ABSD. So it can be done quite easily. Just sell your flat and buy another one. Then you just, you can. But now got ABSD at 20%. How to manage this? Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you is not loophole. It's not a trick. It's legit. I check HDB. It's allowed. Okay? So, planning for your HDB flat starts from the moment you book your first HDB flat. The standard route. Okay, couple buy as joint applicant. After your MOP, you take 2 routes. Okay? Because why? If you were to buy a private first before you sell your HDB flat, what's going to happen? You have to pay ABSD. You buy, you pay ABSD, you have to later on sell off one, all right? Or, if you can afford it, then you rent out one and live in the other one. So it's inconvenient, right? What I just illustrated to you. Second one, okay, I die also don't want to pay ABSD. Die also don't want to pay ABSD, then you have to take this super inconvenient route. Sell your HDB flat first, then go and find temporary housing. Temporary housing is what? Number one, you either rent or you go and knock on the door of your parents. Papa, Mama, can we hide here for the next few years while we wait for our condo to be completed? Your Papa, Mama was so happy that you finally moved out of the house and then we can have our own time, own space. And now you want to knock door again. And why? Because we have to wait for you to go and get your condo and make money. Right? Workable or not? A lot of inconvenience, right? Correct? Okay. So, doable but not practical. Right? Doable but finally when it's completed, then you buy out. All right? I mean, you have bought it, but you sell already, then you buy, there's no ABSD. That's why people sell first and buy. Okay, but it's inconvenient, there's a lot of problems. Okay, so what's the convenient route that nobody tell you one? Because it's not on the HDB website. But it's allowed. Okay, HDB will still see this couple as a family unit. They are buying as a family, except how you put the names on the form. The application form is one is applicant, one is occupier. Okay, so in this example, I give you the husband is applicant, the wife is the occupier. First question the wife will ask. If you are the wife, what was the first question you ask? I got no share in the house. What if you sell the house away there? I got no money. Right? Correct or not? So what is the safeguard that HDB has put in? What is the safeguard? There's a safeguard that the HDB has put in to cater to this kind of arrangement. What is the safeguard?
The wife must be essential occupier.
Yes, the wife is essential occupier. And number 2, the wife must sign consent. You don't sign consent, the husband die also cannot sell the house. Correct or not? So that's where you have control of the money. Right? Okay? So if you do this, the possibility is that once MOP is achieved, if you go and use the wife's name to buy the next property, there is no ABSC liability because legally, technically, she's not a HDB owner. You search the HDB ownership, you see one name only, the husband name. But the wife is the essential occupier. Okay? I'm using husband and wife like this. It can be the other way. Okay? Wife, then husband. Same. Okay. Next. What's the benefit? If you can afford it, you have the financing capability, you can own 2 properties after MOP. I use after MOP because it's not die must 5-year MOP, then you straight away go and buy. You must accumulate enough money. Okay, still need money. All right, so some people take longer, okay, to accumulate this money, but you have the flexibility there, right? You're not stuck. with having to sell one property first, go and knock on the door. Can you imagine you 40 over years old still go and knock the door of your parents? Can I stay with you for the next 3 years? Oh, you okay or not? Okay. Okay. So no need to sell HDB first. You can save on ABSD and move on with your asset progression. Okay, so put it in picture. Okay, we use the wife here. We buy this new launch condo. Okay, no ABSD. Couple does not have to sell the private. Why we say buy new launch condo? Because this is a way to leverage on the moving market. I think yesterday a lot of speakers have explained to you why buy new launch. Okay, new launch, the price will increase downstream. When you buy new launch, that point where you see everybody booking and buying, that is the lowest price for their project. Further downstream, developer will up price. Because once the sales strategy for developer is, once they achieve a certain level of sales, they will start to adjust the price. Okay, they need to, at the end of the day, make profit for their shareholders. Okay, so then you can continue to own your property. Okay, when the time comes, you can either sell one of them, take profit, or if you can, rent out one, live in one. Okay? Renting gives you cash flow. Okay. The other thing of why buy new launch is progress payment schedule. You buy a $1.5 million property, you don't need to foot out $1.5 million. You just need that amount of money to be able to cater for the progressive payment. Okay? So as long as you are not a current property owner and if you're eligible financing, able to, you can take a 75% loan. But the loan of 75% is not drawn down, the full amount. The bank only draw down when you start to draw down the loan. So your installment payment is actually very little. Not as much as if you have borrowed the full sum of 75%. Right? So you leverage on the progressive payment, buy for time, wait for the price to go up, time in the market. Okay, time in the market, wait for the price to go up, and then just before TOP. Okay, watch the pace of the project. This is a strategy some people use. Just before TOP, sell. Why? Because there will be always ready buyer to buy off you. Why? Because those are people who cannot stuck in the HDB market, inconvenient. I need to buy one house and move. I don't want to stay with my father for 3 years, man. You know, there's a ready stock of buyers who will take it off you because they want to buy new, ready to move in. If the developer got very little stock left or no more stock of that same project, that's where you can leverage and you can sell for a good price. Okay? Example. Okay, the numbers are quite similar. I have to adjust a bit. Peter and Jane is Peter and Jane. Okay? So Peter bought and Jane, they already planned for it for day one. When they first bought the HDB flat, they put as Peter applicant, Jane occupier. Okay? After MOP. Okay, and in their case, they did not buy immediately after MOP. They bought their HDB flat when they were 30 years old. Okay? At 35, is after MOP. Technically can buy, but why? What's the problem? Not enough money. Not enough money. So wait. Use the time to build resources. So they started to buy, they activated this plan when they are in their 40s. In their 40s. Okay? In their 40s. So they bought a new launch condo, 1.7 mil in 2021. It was under construction. They don't have to draw down the full loan. Okay? They sold the condo recently because why? It was nearing TOP. There were ready buyers. Okay? And this is not a unit that is high floor, pool view, that kind of thing. No. It's a normal unit only. Except the price of the project has gone up. And the price of other new projects around there is also higher. They don't have to sell at the highest possible price, but they sold at a good price. Actually, they were gunning for 2.3, but cannot get. So they sold for 2.2. 500K in 3.5 years. Yes? Hang on. It's a Singaporean thing. Okay? Yeah. Okay? So this is one example. They leverage on the movement of the market. So what happens if like a lot of people you stuck in the beginning, you blur stupid not stupid, blur. Okay, blur. Don't know Okay, don't know, nobody tell me I buy a joint applicant then how So if you want to buy private, you have to take the inconvenient route. What's the inconvenient route? You all know already, right? Okay, sell first, then buy then talk, papa, mama, no choice Okay, or you go and rent Because you calculate, you go and pay rental it's still cheaper than paying ABSD Correct 300,000 is a lot of money 300,000 can rent what? You go and count Right, it's not, you won't use up the 300,000. So it's whether you want to contribute to nation building or not Right? So if you don't want, then you go and rent Enjoy a condo for that 3 years construction period. But okay, so I'm talking to the other privileged group of people now. You bought your HDB flat as joint applicant, then now you want to upgrade. So your next best bet is an EC provided. What's provided? Your income ceiling is 16K and below. Okay? So you condos, EC have the same look and feel, cheaper entry price, at least 15%, 20% cheaper than normal condo. Deferred payment scheme. Deferred payment scheme is the only scheme that's available for condo. Okay? So deferred payment scheme, you only need the first 20% plus money for stamp duty. The rest, you pay at TOP. Best deal in the world. Private cannot get this deal. So if you're a privileged group, currently HDB owner, want to upgrade to private new launch condo, new EC, this is the best bet. Okay, and then can you keep your HDB? Sorry, you take possession of your EC, you have to sell in 6 months. No extension given. Okay. So available ECs in the market, not a lot of stock left. Okay, but there's a new EC coming up with 500 over units. Okay, in Tengah, Novo Place. All right, coming, akan datang. Okay, so in summary, if you plan to upgrade from your HDB, you have to start from the beginning. It's not going to happen just like that. All right, you have to arrange your structure properly, understand what is the numbers, because at the end of the day, unless money is no object, then you still have to be mindful of your numbers, all right, so that you can engineer. You have the plan ready. Now you find the money to fit and execute your plan. Okay, so that's all I have. Thank you very much.